my gosh. What? That's horrible. I've had some bad neighbors. I've saw my neighbors fight in the streets sometimes. It happens. Hello, everyone. Say hello to YouTube. Hello, YouTube. We are going to be watching today The Worst Neighbors by meatcanyon. I love meatcanyon. I love his videos. I've loved his videos for years now. He's such a goated guy. I love it. We are going to be reacting to what he has to say. Meatcanyon is goated. Meatcanyon is funny. I've had some bad neighbors. I've saw my neighbors fight in the streets sometimes. It happens. All right, guys, let's get right into it.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on, sit down because today we're going to talk about the world's worst neighbors. We've all had neighbors we dislike, whether it's someone moving furniture at 2 a.m. or a couple having loud domestic disputes day after day, or even loud, obnoxious sex, which has happened to me. Horrible. I've had 3 horrible neighbors. Should I just list them now?
Chat, I like the part where the guy was like climbing up and like jumping with the dumbbells. I feel like some of my neighbors do that sometimes.
Coming at number 3, it has to be the jungle sex that was happening. I couldn't believe it. I was in my early 20s. Picture a bright-eyed young boy. Getting ready to get up for college or whatever. Literally, when I got home in the morning when I woke up, if it was at home, their bedroom was right above my bedroom. Heard all of it. And it would last so long, so very long. And then my bedroom is like, let's just say here. On the back side of my headboard is my bathroom where I have my shower. And in the morning when I would take my shower, they would be in their shower. Oh, and it's loud acoustic porcelain sex, and it was horrible. Like some real shit was like, and that and the big slaps, whoosh, 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 whoosh. Balls definitely like slapping ass in the taint and stuff. It was horrible.
Ew.
But I remember one.
Chad, that's so gross. I would be horrified if that happened. That's so gross. That's so nasty. I couldn't imagine hearing people doing that when I wake up in the morning. Like when you're trying to get ready for work and you just hear that. That's like one way to ruin your entire day.
He came downstairs and the guy, because I remember it was especially just loud one morning. He came downstairs at the same time I was leaving my apartment, and he's like, it was like a 54-year-old dude, and it was like an older couple, and I was just like, get at it. Number 2.
Wait, that's worse because they're old. No, my day's ruined, chat. That would ruin my day completely if I heard that and then I saw them at the same time. No.
It's definitely, when I lived in Utah, there was a guy that lived above me as well, that every time he'd close his lazy boy chair, he would like do it so hard that it would like, and it would do that. And it was so bad one night that I had to go up, knock, 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 open the door. There was nothing in his apartment besides milk crates and this lazy boy. And he had a fucking Doberman that was just doing sprints back and forth. A Doberman.
Guys, that's literally like what I picture as like men's apartments. I think like men live like that, chat. Like a lazy boy on one side and like a TV on the floor on the other side. No mattress, no tables, no nothing, no candles, no flowers, no decorations. Their decorations are booze bottles and nothing. That's what it is. I don't know. What else would guys have in their apartment? Nothing.
A Doberman. And he's like, yeah. And I did, dude, it's like a midnight. Can you please?
What's
that
dog doing?
God. He got kicked out of the apartment. Other people
No,
complained about
really?
him. But then my number 1 worst neighbor moment was when I had a war veteran neighbor came over, he tried to just walk in my house. And I was like, what the hell? I unlocked it. He's like, yeah, I'm your neighbor. And he gave me a business card. That was his.
Wait, guys, whenever I move, I should give people business cards and say, go watch my YouTube and follow my Twitch. Do you think that would be cringe? Would that be cringe? Shameless plug. Go follow my YouTube if you're not. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow my Twitch. We go live and do reactions.
It was old ranked, whatever. And it was a whole ordeal, and he kept driving up into our property and all kinds of stuff. It was the fucking worst. And then he like went on a whole tirade, and they found him like a couple states over because he forgot to take his medications. What? But I heard he's doing fine now. But that was definitely, whenever he sat there, he's like, trying to open my door. That one was fucked up.
Wait, that'd be so scary. I'd be so scared if someone did that to my door. Like, that's like a big fear of mine.
I'm gonna move the sex up to 1, actually. Looking back at it, the psychological damage, I think the sex gets moved up to number 1. You know what the thing was too is, and this is not even a joke. This is legitimately what happened. They would have sex in the morning. It would only be in the morning. The shower.
No.
You hear him walking around with the wet feet.
Ew.
Whatever, and they would play Mambo number 5. I'm not even joking. Lou Bega. The psychological damage that Mambo number 5 does to a person after hearing 50-year-old people get done doing wet fucking is horrible. Even the.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Most ideal living situations can be ruined by a
Balls.
loud, disrespectful neighbor. But the most common stories are tame compared to some of the more nightmarish tales out there. A true neighbor from hell can be a straight-up threat to your mental and physical well-being. Some of the more serious neighborly feuds can last weeks or even years, affecting entire neighborhoods of people who simply can't afford to leave, which is true. Everyone knows somebody or is that person that's just like, he keeps bitching to me about my tree, or he says his tree keeps fucking coming over my yard. He's dropping crab apples in my yard or something.
Crab apples.
My neighbors don't like me.
I think every other day someone is calling and being like, Nick, can you do something? All right, hold on a second, guys. Pull up your phone. Daddy, calling your dogs in. It's something that most people can relate to, which is why there's entire shows even dedicated to documenting them, like Neighborhood Wars, or this recent Netflix show called Worst Neighbor Ever. And in some extreme cases, these disputes can even escalate to physical altercations, lawsuits, and
Wait, I've watched that, chat. The Worst Neighbor Ever is such a crazy show. They have some crazy people on there. Insane people. Like, actually. I saw this one. This one was crazy. I saw this one before, but he's about to talk about, if he's talking about this one. Insane.
serious injury, like death.
My, when I was in 7th grade.
With how low energy this response is, I'm going to say save it. And I want you to really pop at me at some point about it, all right? For those of you who are watching this from the comfort of an apartment, there's a very specific type of neighborly dispute that you may not be aware of. It has to do with something known as tree law. It has led to all sorts of chaos, which this, I would say almost apartment neighborhood disputes are more common because you're so close together. But I will say tree law is fucked. Something's got to be done about tree law, okay?
What is tree law? Is it literally like a law about your trees, like where they can and can't be planted?
Oh, or anti-tree law.
Fence riding tree law. Hey, we want to give a quick shout out to our favorite sponsor, Gamer Subs, which we have amazing energy drink called Raw Meat. You need to pick that shit up right now. It is summer in a shaker, or hopefully one day a can, because they're starting to do cans in places, and it's delicious. Raw Meat, my flavor is a beautiful cantaloupe watermelon mix that's just, oh, it's absolutely beautiful. We drink the caffeine-free version all the time. When it gets too late, because Gamer Subs gives you a little pep in your step. Pep, pep, pep. Also, if you like big-tittied anime women, they have little tub shakers that have big, beautiful tittied anime women on it. So if you like that, they have shakers. Pick up a big tittied anime shaker thing.
Guys,
like
Gamer Subs.
No, I do. If you head over to Gamer Subs right now, you can get signed up for some free samples. They're all good flavors. There's not a single bad flavor. They're all muy caliente. They're beautiful. They're so tasty. So please head over to Gamer Subs and use promo code PAPAMeat at checkout, and tell them we sent you. Right? You're gonna get a little goodie with it. I think you'll like it.
A goodie?
Tree law refers to the area of legal system that handles disputes regarding damage caused as a result of trees and other forms of vegetation. If you find that your neighbor has a tree that's encroaching on your property, you need to be aware of the strict rules that dictate how you take action, right? You're allowed to trim parts of a tree that fall over a fence and into your home, so long as it's not trimmed up past your property line. This sounds simple enough, but you'd be baffled by the amount of stories in which furious neighbors try to trespass on someone's property to chop down a fucking tree.
Wait, do you think this happens a lot, guys? That people try to go chop down other people's trees, like they trespass so it doesn't fall on things? I could see that. I could see that because like maybe your neighbor doesn't care about like what happens and you care and you care. I don't know. I just feel like that would happen a lot. I mean, I've never heard of somebody doing this or heard of it. But I mean, it makes sense that people would do that.
Or this could put them into both legal and criminal trouble. I mean, you can go to prison. It's insane. It is wild to me that, like,
guys, the Lorax would be so mad right now. Don't tell him.
Like, you would have the gall to hop your own fence and chop your neighbor's tree down. Oh, let's see, it's trying to grow over my fence now. Whatever. But I will say, I've seen people get pissed before that a tree like is going to the yard, and they like start to cut it, and they're like, "What are you doing? Cut my tree!" And they're like, "It's in my fucking yard. What are you doing?"
That's in Small Soldiers. What are you doing?
I'd be mad.
There's tree law in Small Soldiers?
He's like, Alan Abernathy's dad is like, "You're cutting my tree." And he's like, "It's blocking my dish."
I've literally never seen that movie or heard of that movie.
Small Soldiers. I am Archer, leader of the Gorgamax. Like all the Gorgamax are just like fucking, just like mutants or whatever. Lieutenant Chip Hazard's way cooler. Put me on Chip Hazard's team. Easily. I like Archer. Archer's cool, but
guys, what if I told you I was built like this guy, Archer? Would you guys still like me?
The rest of them, I could totally.
You know, like the big purple rhino.
I don't like the dopey Frankenstein looking guy.
Ew.
Hey, that like that.
You didn't like Insaniac?
No, I didn't. The purple Tasmanian devil ripoff. No. I like Chip Hazard. All the Chip Hazard guys got pussy. Especially one with the gold tooth. How cool is it?
Wait, one has a gold tooth? Which one? Which one gets ladies? The one with the mohawk? No. No.
That.
Oh, they fucked the Barbies,
Yeah.
yeah.
Batteries not included. One old woman was caught trying to climb over a man's fence with a blade in her hand. And when he
Guys, look at this old lady. Somebody put her back inside her house and give her tapioca pudding.
told her it was against the law, she began frantically screaming about how she'll blow up the entire place if that's what it takes to get rid of the unsightly tree.
What?
People get pissed, man.
I think that goes beyond. I think the tree's haunted. The face of her like dead husband keeps looking at her.
Ew! Okay, I'm sorry, I paused, I'm sorry, but that's just so unsightly and god-awful.
Yeah. Stabbing herself. This is a common occurrence in the world of neighborhood disputes, as people will get permission to trim a few branches only for them to return and see the entire fucking tree chopped down, which they couldn't physically do without sneaking onto their property illegally, which is even like sometimes I think they hire people. And they're like, oh yeah, this is my place, chop down the tree. Over in New Jersey, one homeowner discovered that his neighbor, a CEO who wanted a better view of the New York City skyline, had a large crew come down to chop down at least 32 trees illegally for 32? The New York skyline from your suburban neighborhood. That's being the guy who lives in a suburban neighborhood, but he's like, yeah, well, I drive an F-350 to my accounting job and it's lifted. Yeah, I drive a monster truck to work.
Guys, I drive a monster truck to work. Literally. Me, when I drive a monster truck to work, I would run over all the cars if I could do that, honestly.
I hate myself. I can say it, or you could just look at this. I hate myself. Imagine wanting to actually see the New York City. Wow. There it is. Oh my God. Oh! That's watching the plane blow. Because of this, Can I be so, like, dead serious? This guy had to pay so much money to get this crew to come here and sneak onto that person's property and then cut down all those trees within, like, a time frame. Like, that'd be so much money. This guy might be loaded, chat. Very likely will have to pay as much as $1.5 million due to various fines as well as a town ordinance that insists that the person responsible must replace each tree that was destroyed.
That's horrible.
Keep in mind, some of these trees were as old as 150 years. So they quite literally cannot be replaced in this lifetime. He's gonna be fucking dead while they're still growing. This means he would have to build an entire roadway to work on restoring the area and spend as long as 2 years watering them and maintaining the surrounding property. And not only this, but he even faces a trespassing charge, which is just a little cherry on top.
Yeah,
what I like about
actually,
this though, Nick, is that stupid fuck. He's every morning he takes his fucking kids are gone, wife is gone, cheated on much hotter younger guy. He looks out and he just sees him barely growing. And it's just, it's going to be something that just grows in time of his failure. That's psychological. I bet you he moves. He's a pussy, for sure. I can go see the New York skyline somewhere else. His fucking wife's old ass Karen wife just getting railed by her pickleball instructor.
Ew.
He's like, you were supposed to doink him. Doink the ball, not the instructor.
Doink the ball, not the instructor, guys. That's tech.
Aaron, you broke my heart. You're such a We need to start doing like stage plays or something. I want to do a stage play. I want to act as a stage play.
You want to do cats?
No. I want to do like a time period piece. There's this great.
I would pay so much money to see Meatcanyon live action cats. Like, I want to see him dressed up as a cat, chat. That'd be so funny.
Roseanne episode. That might be controversial to say now. There's a great Roseanne episode when I was a kid that me and my friends liked, or me and my family liked. It's Lori Metcalf. She walks out and she says one line. She says, "Carine of beef," and walks off. It's really funny. She's like a stump leg.
Is that a real play?
I don't know.
That's
she had like
awesome.
a really small part. It's fun. It's good. I don't know what to say. A perfect image. I don't like what Roseanne said. I watched it with my family when I was younger, Nick. All right. Do I like Roseanne today? I fucking no. But do I watch the show from time to time because it makes me feel like before my parents got divorced? Sure. Irene and Graham Lee, a 7-year-old couple, couldn't handle the fact that birds were repeatedly sitting in the tree above their front yard and taking dumps that would damage the driveway. Damage the driveway? Or was it just shit-stained driveway? Brought mystery.
How how big of birds are we talking if they are damaging the driveway with poop? That'd have to be like massive big birds.
Their neighbor had no intention of cutting down the tree as it gave the homes more personality. He got the final say on what could happen to the tree. And in the end, the couple hired someone to cut everything that extended into their property line. This ended up being perfectly split down the middle of the tree, and the image became viral and turned into a tourist trap that had people traveling from all over to take photos. Which also, Nick, I want to ask you this. Do you agree with this method?
Well, you can have...
I think that's so dumb. I think it's so dumb that they cut that tree like that. Isn't it just going to die?
the tree.
Because this is definitely what they did. Graham and whatever the fuck her name was.
Well, if you want half your tree, you can have it, but our half we don't want.
You agree?
If I hated the neighbor, yes. I think it's pretty petty.
So it is. So do you think that a lot of these just boil down to pettiness? A 25-year-old
That's
tree.
so
I mean, at
petty.
some point, I mean, I look, you know, if I saw a tree, I'm like, it's been here for 25 years. I'm just gonna let it stay. The bird shit thing I can get to, because you know, he comes home, he's like, that's right, Irene, come outside. I got something to show you. What? And then a big fucking bird diarrhea happens. I mean, I would be upset, be like, I can't even park my fucking cars there. That's fine. I feel like if anything, couldn't you have just trimmed the limbs that were extended on your yard? Did you have to cut it in half? Do you think your balls when you're 70 are gonna be like crazy saggy? I'm not telling you, in my neighborhood, they're gonna think that it's a fucking church bells going off.
Ew! Wait, how did he get to that? How did he get to that from the tree? I don't understand. They're gonna sit there, what the fuck is the song? Follow waters, whatever, that Christmas song, whatever. And the Grinch, you know? The Who's all gonna gather around. And the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day. Online, a small creator known as the Peanut Butter Smear exclusively posts videos where he creeps around neighborhoods in Somerset, Kentucky with the goal of covering people's doorknobs in peanut butter. Nope. Chat, I went to a party one time and we literally just got there and everybody was already like very intoxicated. And I remember my friend and I, we were just like standing there, and then our one friend that was there, she was like, I have to go to the bathroom. So we go to the bathroom with her. We stand outside and wait for her. And she comes out after throwing up, right? She's very, very intoxicated. She comes out and says, it smells like peanut butter in there. And I was like, the bathroom smells like peanut butter. We go in there and we're trying to find where the peanut butter smell's coming from. Somebody in the bathroom, they had a can of goober. I don't know if you guys know what goober is. It's the peanut butter and jelly mix. They put their hands inside the entire jar and on the bathroom wall in the shower tub, it said, I love someone's name. Like, and we don't know who did it. It smelled so badly of peanut butter in there. Oh my gosh. Home or business is safe, and it became such a big problem that his local news stations started reporting on it. The segment included testimonials from victims and concerned citizens fearing the harm it could do to those with peanut allergies. The mayor of Somerset even called him out directly during a recorded council meeting, urging him to stop. Instead, he posted the clip to TikTok with the caption, thanks, but no thanks, mayor, followed by a montage of him smearing the more doorknobs. He's still out to this day, ladies and gentlemen, with some people even recognizing him on the street and praising him for some reason. I don't know why. Why is this something fun for him to do? You praise him. I feel like the mayor, he wasn't nearly hard enough on him. If you're out there, peanut butter smear, you will be caught and you will be tried. You hear me?
Is all theatrics. He's in cahoots with the peanut butter smear. Did you ever do any silly pranks as a kid?
Yeah, like that's the same kind of thing. I knew some people in my school that would do that would vandalize shit, and I always just felt bad. I'm like, why do we have to even as a kid, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? I had a buddy that would key someone's car or something, and I was just funny. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I think the worst I personally done was, I think I went egging one time, and I was like, oh, this is fucked up. And then
toilet paper, TPing is fine.
Well, that's why I was like, well, it's only TP, because at least you know, it rains, it dissolves, or you can
The only
just pull
time
it
I ever
off.
liked someone egging was someone egged our house for whatever reason. My dad got so upset because it stained the house. I mean, it was fucked up. Wait, eggs stain people's houses? I didn't know that. That's crazy. The worst prank I've ever done, it wasn't even that bad. I made my mom coffee and I put a whole bunch of hot sauce in it as like a little kid. It is fucked up, but I forgot why, but I was mad at him for some reason. He was sitting there, he's like, fuck! Fuck! Like spraying off the thing, and I just remember sitting there, just an obese chud looking down from the porch being like, silly daddy. That's what you get. Yeah, well, I think he's just like, that's what you get. You get egged. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. He must have been like a funny kid. He was the funny guy in class. You won't do it right. You won't do it right.
I actually remember why I stopped damaging people's houses. One time, me and my buddy went out and we threw applesauce on the side of a house. And the guy did not clean it for years.
Why? Why did you applesauce? Like, why did you do that?
That's a waste.
Child.
There's a thing of being pressured, like the people who did the key thing, or you hang out with an older group of kids who are doing something, you're like, yeah, like I'm 14, they're 17, which is a huge age gap then, you know, but they're just like, yeah, I don't know, let's go ding dong dish somebody, or you go do it. Okay. And I pretend I do it. Ooh, and I run down. He didn't really ring it. I did. I was that kid. I was pathetic. Over a decade ago, a child by the name of Gabby Mann gained public attention after befriending crows that would repeatedly bring her gifts in return for food from her school lunches. Her parents, Lisa and Gary, were happy to
But that's so cool, though, guys, to have a pet crow.
encourage her fascination with birds. If my daughter got national news attention because crows were bringing her a better lunch than we were sending to her from school, would you not be like, cool it with the birds? Am I wrong? Because I imagine after a while that bitch is going to start speaking crow.
Have you seen that kid who could do any bird sound with his mouth?
It's awesome.
Wait, that kid's so cool. What? That sounded like a real bird. What?
That kid fucking rules. It's insane. It's so accurate too. That's cool. I'm saying that this is a bad. I'm like, sweetie, you sound like a pigeon. I get pissed. I'm like, that's not a crow. Also, you know what she'd do? She'd probably do some crow or raven shit. You ever see those things where owners of those have like a clear plastic tube and they'll put like snacks in the middle of it? They do. They have to try to find. That's what they do.
They're so smart.
Crow girl. Fast forward to 2 years later in 2015, and this cute little habit became the basis for a lawsuit. It turns out their neighbors were seeing a massive influx of rats and other vermin because of the leftover food left behind by the goddamn birds. On its face, it sounds ridiculous. How many birds and rodents could one 8-year-old draw in? Turns out, quite a bit with right help. By this point, the Mann family was doing more than feeding the one-off stray bird. The operation grew to fucking multiple feeding situations with a custom 10-foot
What? That's a crazy setup because they have one like right here with all of the birds, and then they have some in the back. I wonder how many bird feeders they had to make that such a problem. They must have had so many bird feeders on their property to have that many birds show up to eat. That's crazy.
By 10-foot structure, as well as hired employees to make sure feed was regularly supplied as many as 6 times a day. Employees? Is the crow girl bringing in that much money? I am on the side of the neighbor on this one. I have fucking rats and birds. If you think if fucking Leslie and Graham Lee, whatever, thought that their situation was bad, I cannot even imagine. You know, my daughter was on the news today. Oh, that's cool. Rebecca? Oh, do you have another daughter? No, that's her dead name. Her name's Crow Girl now. That's how it started. Oh, cool. All right.
She's Crow Girl, chat. I'm Vampire Girl. Womp womp.
Do you think the girls she was paying for the operation?
No.
Fuck. No. I think she was probably curled up in a nest in her room trying to peck at fucking Tootsie Rolls from a clear tube, is what I imagine. I think the dad was milking it dry. You trying to get your Crow Girl swag? A lack of action resulted in 2 neighbors filing a $200,000 lawsuit, and the case was settled out of court after the Mann family agreed to restrict the feeding for the next 8 years, as well as pay an undisclosed amount of money to the people, which I bet you was pretty fucking close. Also, too, do you think that it wasn't monetary? Do you think that they just liked the attention? Oh, we Manns have never had attention from the media before. Let's feed more crows. I bet you Gabby was done with it. I don't like the crows.
Get outside.
Get out there and put feed in the 10-foot by 10-foot tower, Gabby. Umar Abdullah and his family moved into an apartment in Tampa, Florida, where he immediately took issue with the downstairs neighbor, Zooming Lee. He would constantly pester Umar with noise complaints due to loud footsteps, Roombas rolling on the floor, and even things as simple as drawers being opened. Shortly after they'd gotten settled in, one of Umar's friends was at the apartment dropping something off when she noticed a chemical smell that would make her eyes burn. Jesus. These symptoms would persist inside the apartment, and over time, Umar's baby had begun to cough so much that she started vomiting. Umar's—
Oh my gosh, what was he doing? I don't even know what would cause that.
Stated—
I started sniffing the water heater area like a dog. And as I was moving towards the entry door from the water heater door, I felt that the smell is even more severe. A toxic smell.
Man. A month later, Umar set up a camera outside his apartment and discovered something absolutely insane. In the footage, zooming, could be seen injecting a liquid using a syringe underneath Umar's front fucking door. And it's insane. The footage or the picture of it is wild. Police were called to investigate Zooming's behavior and found that he had been mixing methadone and hydrocodone and planting it in Umar's house to harm him and his family. Zooming was a chemistry PhD student at a Florida university and was well aware of the effects from the combination of said chemicals. He was
This guy chat is psycho. Like, why? Like, why? Does he just, was there a reason? Whoa. Was there a reason for that? I don't understand. Why would somebody want to do that? That's crazy. Like, that's psycho behavior. I don't even know why somebody would want to do that. That's so dumb.
was arrested and charged with 3 counts of battery, possession of a controlled substance, and 1 count of burglary, and multiple other charges. He was deported back to China and faces jail time in the event that he returns to the United States. What a actual mad scientist fucking monster.
That's a
That guy was like an actual villain, chat. Who just decides to do something like that one day? That you hate your neighbor that much that you have to do like chemical warfare. That's so dumb.
villain origin right there.
Also, too, it seems like with this kind of thing, when things come like this, it always feels like it's a race issue to me. Of like, oh, I just don't like these people. Right? I don't know how on earth you could see a family with a baby. And don't get me wrong, maybe they were loud. I don't know. But to not have the maturity to like amicably come to an agreement or do something, or even just bring it up to the people that run the apartment complex. In the early morning hours, the Shield family was going about their day. Anna Shield was in her bathroom getting ready to take a bath when a truck suddenly crashed into the bathroom wall, sending a 300-pound steel beam flying past her head. Holy fuck. Before she knew it, the whole house was lit on fire. Thankfully, her entire family was able to get out safely. Around the side of the house, their neighbor and the man behind the wheel, Paul Elbort, was trapped.
Oh my gosh, look at this guy. Look at his hair. Oh my gosh. This guy looks crazy.
Underneath the vehicle, missing both of his prosthetic legs. Ron Shield pulled him out to find that he was severely burned and bleeding from his face. Elport wasn't thankful. In fact, he started to crawl away from the scene on his own. Police were called, and after conducting an investigation, they revealed something almost unthinkable. Police discovered that when Paul was in 8th grade, he wrote a poem called The Fire. The poem was only 5 sentences long and detailed Paul riding a rocket and dying in a fiery crash. It read as follows.
I had a little rocket which I set afire one day. It cruised around and landed in some hay. It set the hay ablaze, and I fell back in a daze. The fire overcame me, but no one heard my plea. I died that night, very sadly.
Do you guys think that he was trying to do something bad? Do you guys think that he was trying to do something bad? Maybe. But like, for him to like not be thankful that they tried to save them, at least be a little thankful, you know? Like everybody was like panicking and like trying to help.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Mrs. English teacher. The car bomb ultimately failed, and Paul was arrested. He was charged with criminal mischief, arson, and attempted deliberate homicide. Initially, he had a plea deal to receive a lesser sentence, but the judge rejected it and sentenced him to 110 years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool poem, bro. Guilty. What about the guy?
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, wow, that's a really nice poem, sir. Guilty! Put him in jail!
Got upset up. What do you think was the defining thing where he was just like, I don't like them. You're my targets.
Loud noise.
You think it was? Or do you think it was the happiness of his family?
Oh, yeah, too happy.
Look at that motherfucker's mugshot. Oh, he has 2 prosthetic legs. Does it have legs? John.
Well, the whole thing is, like, I wonder, I mean, it seemed like they were pretty far, like, away from each other, so I don't know how noise would be a thing. I just feel like maybe this guy just, like, picked somebody, you know? Or, like, maybe he just decided one day, you know what, this house, maybe, who knows? I don't know. That guy's just crazy.
John D. Nino was the new president of the HOA in Bellaria Residences, a luxury condo complex. Him and his wife, Doreen, had loved their home, despite one of their neighbors being particularly strange. Francisco Villi, a resident in his 60s, was a crotchety man that would often espouse theories
Crotchety. A crotchety old man. What a word.
about the HOA being filled with corruption. He hated the HOA board and how the building was run. That would make people uncomfortable with his constant ramblings, which honestly, they don't sound like ramblings. It sounds like a sane man talking about a regular HOA. I digress. Part of this may have been due to the fact that he used to be on
Chad, he's a Discord mod. Oh my gosh, he's moderator. He's a moderator. He's a Reddit mod, chat. Look at him.
On the board before being kicked out for his unruly behavior. Okay, so he's just jealous. Anyone else think the HOA sucks now?
It used to be good when I was on the
Used to be
board.
pretty sweet a couple months back.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Francisco. When Francisco found out that Danilo was now the HOA president, he would constantly stop him to complain about issues
He
with
looks
the
crazy.
building. Many of these issues were incredibly odd, like the claim that his building was being exposed to toxic electromagnetic waves
Wow.
due to his condo being above the electrical room. We're dealing with that kind of guy. When Francisco believed he was suffering from symptoms of EHS, electromagnetic hypersensitivity, though this is a self-diagnosed condition not recognized as a real medical disorder.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened in Better Call Saul. He secured the blueprints for the building and began conducting ideas for a drop ceiling that would work as a barrier between his unit and the electrical room. Despite offering $10,000 of his own money, the board refused to approve the construction. And in his mind, this meant he was being silenced and the
I'm really not crazy. I'm just being gang stalked. What? Guys, can we get this shirt? Can I get this?
point of keeping him around the toxic electromagnetic waves was to slowly kill him. They wanted to kill him. And by this point, he had already been convinced that Danilo was part of the mafia and wanted him dead. From here, Francisco began to unravel.
literally.
He would scream in the hallways at 4 a.m., film tons of interactions with board members to upload on Facebook, and harass Danilo non-stop. Property managers had begun quitting due to his outburst, and it was time for the board to take action.
Man.
They decided to pursue legal action against Francisco, ordering him to comply with Section 117 of the Condominium Act that forbade abusive, intimidating behavior against the board or others working or living within the building. Section 117, Francisco, he's like, ay, ay, ay.
So yes, this guy is just very extra and very crazy, guys. Okay, got it. I've never had a roommate that was, or like, not a roommate. Well, yeah, I've never had like a roommate or a, like any neighbors that were like that crazy. I mean, my neighbors were like the equivalent of like smoking cigarettes outside and like having fights on the outside, like outside of my house.
You get that battery away from me. No more electricity for me. Billy tried to fire back with a $1 million lawsuit with his claims of being slowly poisoned, but was unsuccessful. He never
Why are you being gang stalked?
changed his ways, and in fact, things got worse. He aggressively harassed everyone, and at one point, a property manager had to lock herself in her office out of fear as Francisco screamed endlessly through the door, and the board had no choice but to take him back to court. Francisco lost and was ordered to pay close to $30,000 for the board's legal costs.
$30,000? Guys, this guy is insane. Like, I'd be so terrified if I was that woman. Like, this guy is screaming outside of your house? That's so scary.
Think that nobody would be on his side, but this wasn't the case. The legal battles were taking a toll on some residents as the board had to pass special assessments charging residents to recoup many of their legal fees. People's hatred of the HOA made it hard for some residents to take their side. And one former resident named Tony Coutron was a realtor that was convinced that Francisco to sell his home after they became friendly with each other. He even convinced him to move into a long-term case facility. He agreed only with the main stipulation that Tony would visit him on Christmas. When Tony exclaimed that his schedule wouldn't allow it, however, Francisco completely lost it and went back to treating him as a sworn enemy. You gotta visit me on Christmas. I can't.
I was gonna say he just likes him.
He wants him to visit him.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go there, but you gotta visit me. Can you come on Christmas? Oh, come on, Francisco. I mean,
Let's be honest, guys. I would not go on Christmas. Let's be so for real. I would not. He would hate me.
fuck, what about Easter? It's gotta be Christmas. The board had one last resort. As it was to collect the rest of the legal fees Francisco was forced to pay by selling his unit, the day before the court was able to decide the fate of his home, Francisco armed himself with a Beretta semi-automatic pistol, pulled the fire alarm, and began a killing spree.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my gosh. What? That's horrible. Oh my gosh. This guy didn't want to celebrate Christmas with him?
Oh no.
I would like to take back the HOA comment I made earlier. He went door to door, shooting down the people he believed were conspiring to kill him. Davino and Doreen began evacuating, only to come face to face with Francisco, gun in hand. Doreen was shot under the jaw, with the bullet exiting through the base of her skull. She fell to the floor, and a pool of blood emerged underneath her. Francisco hesitated before firing at Danilo, giving him time to throw several objects at him, and they were able to barricade him outside and call the police. In the end, Francisco confronted a cop, only to be shot twice in the torso, quickly killing him. Sadly, 5 people died before he could be put down.
Oh my
Doreen, who had to
gosh.
communicate with a whiteboard after having her mouth wired shut, slowly recovered. She eventually healed enough to talk once more, returning home with Danilo. Many people caught wind of this story and took Francisco's side, claiming that he was not treated well by the system. Others believed that this was just a man with debilitating mental illness who was a danger to the people around him. Which, I gotta
What?
say, even if they didn't treat him right, at no point can you ever justifiably take the side of a man arming himself with a gun and killing him.
I agree with that. Like, this guy is insane. He literally was told no so many times, you know, by the HOA. He was told no so many times. And then he just kind of like was lost in his thoughts and decided, yeah, you know, this is the idea. Like, that's so stupid. Like, honestly, so stupid.
Innocent people. If anything, the only thing I think the HOA should have done is just moved more proactively to get him out of the system faster. But how do you know? Imagine if Tony just went to see him on Christmas, right?
Well, the funny thing is he could have just said, yes, I'll do that.
And just not done it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
He's too proud. He's too proud. If you've got normal neighbors, appreciate them. Not everyone has the privilege
Literally.
of relocating just to avoid the person sharing a wall with them. And if you do find that someone in your neighborhood is deranged, be extra careful about how you choose to confront them. Not only can they be dangerous, but they know where you live, right? Take care. If you got a good neighbor, maybe make us some cookies and give it over, right?
Yeah.
There's also nothing wrong with trying to bury hatchets. That's one thing. You have a weird neighbor, if someone slights you, sometimes it's better to take the high road. Try to see what they're seeing. Try to become amicable with them. Not saying that
Right.
it works with everybody, but I do think literally baking a plate of cookies solves almost every problem between neighbors, if I'm being real. Hey, sorry, I know it was fucked up. I just want to say here. Sorry, I was being loud. That's good. It's
Guys, I'm so thankful that my neighbors are not crazy and like horrible. I'm so thankful for that. I mean, I've had my few like fair share of horrible neighbors, but I'm so thankful and grateful that, you know, nothing crazy and they aren't loud. They literally don't do anything. But I agree. I agree with Meat Canyon. Take the high road, bake your neighbors cookies, especially if they're me. But yeah, I enjoyed this video, guys. That was kind of crazy.